You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
In this episode, we're recapping the game of all games. That's right, the final championship game of American football and everything that goes with it. It's Apathetic Enthusiasm. It's Sports Corner, where Brandon and Travis are breaking down all of the highlights, lowlights, sidelights, and streetlights in this year's 2024 Super Game. Welcome to Apathetic Enthusiasm. I'm Travis.
Welcome. We're back in the highlights again. You know, it's your favorite song by that guy who also sang Valerie. Valerie. You know, that guy.
That guy.
He's in the Spencer Davis group. You know, I'll look it up.
Taylor Swift.
I'll look it up while you're doing the thing.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Apathetic Enthusiasm. This is the podcast where Brandon and I sit back, relax, crack a cold Fairlife protein chocolate milk. Not a sponsor, but
Steve
if you want to sponsor us, Fairlife, call us up.
Cow us up.
Cow us up.
Hey, why is it? Well, are we? Since we're talking about advertisements, are we not? Are we just spending the rest of our time coming up with cool, quippy catchphrases for popular brands?
You never know exactly where an Apathetic Enthusiasm episode is going to take you. But yeah, if you want to contact us with any kind of advertisement deals, you can do that over on X at Apathusiast. I am at Jugglemino. He is at Barnyard Cruise. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/Apathetic Enthusiasm Show. Our email, the preferred way to reach out to us with any advertising opportunities, is apatheticenthusiasmshow@gmail.com. We're on Instagram, apathetic_enthusiasm. You can find us on the web, apatheticenthusiasm.com. We have YouTube if you want to see video versions of the podcast over at youtube.com/apathetic enthusiasm. And of course, the Patreon, patreon.com/apathetic enthusiasm. Thank you to all the patrons who get bonus post shows and extra content that's just not available to you normies.
Anywhere else.
Yeah.
Anywhere else. You can look. You might look
try.
for like a rock, perhaps. You might look for a rainbow and try the edge of the rainbow. You won't find a pot of gold there, and you won't find bonus content from us. Oh, no. No. You won't find any bonus content from Steve Winwood, who sang Valerie, and also Back in the High Life again.
Yeah. Not on our Patreon.
No, you won't do it. Steve Winwood and us, we hang out on the weekends, but you won't see that unless you subscribe to Patreon.
There it is.
Right.
Yeah. So as mentioned, it was Super Bowl weekend.
He also sings "Higher Love," Travis.
Give me a higher love.
Yep. Which my friend Aaron lovingly says is about Jesus. So yeah,
I don't know.
Bring me a higher love. You know, maybe he's talking about proposing on a mountain. We don't know what
higher love.
Oh,
and in the stadium in Denver, Mile High.
Ooh, okay. Anyways, okay, go ahead, Travis. Sorry,
I'm a Broncos fan. Yeah. So,
stupid.
Super Bowl weekend. We both watched the game. We will talk all about it. But at first, and before avid fans of Apathetic Enthusiasm get too excited, I did not create any games this time, having to do with commercials or advertisements or things like that. I know I have in the past because you watched the game, right, Brandon? You tuned in. You were excited.
I was tuned in. I was right there with it, play by play, looking at all the ups and downs, especially the downs of the first half, and it was
there were like first downs and second downs and third downs, or all the downs.
Yeah, and
touchdowns,
low scoring downs.
Yeah. So I have to ask, because the Super Bowl is an unofficial holiday in the United States. A lot of people get very excited for it. There are I'm sure, a significant portion of the population that could care less and do other things on Super Bowl Sunday. I just don't know those people. Yeah. So I was excited. What was sort of your plan going in? Were you hosting a gathering? Were you attending a party? Were you making any special meals? Or were you just like, we're just gonna figure out what channel it's on? I think I have a half bag of Doritos, and we'll Uber eat some food.
This is going to be the most boring conversation that I've given you, and that's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot, because we went through a whole phase where you want to talk about psychology. So,
which that is interesting. I don't care. I don't care who you are. Okay, so Friday, my dad's like, "What are you doing for Super Bowl?" Like, I don't know. Watch it on TV. He said, "You want to come over on Sunday?" And he said, and I said, "Yeah, I'll come over Sunday." And so Sunday, I went over to my parents' house, and my brother showed up. And then, we had Brett brought some Doritos, a full bag of Doritos.
Full bag, fancy.
I ate a whole lot of chips and salsa. I watched the game. I had some beer. We were taking shots whenever we saw Taylor Swift. I owe my dad, I think, a couple of shots still, because he stopped. Him and my brother were like, "No, we can't do this anymore." In like the third quarter. And by the way, in the first half, they barely showed her. But
she averages 23 seconds of screen time in most Chiefs games. I think she got extra screen time during the Super Bowl. If I'm being real.
If you're being honest, but they showed her more in the second half when the Chiefs were
actually playing.
Yep. And so anyway, they stopped third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, and I was like, well, I'm gonna keep going, but I'm not gonna do them right now, but I'll put them in the queue. I'll put them in the hopper.
I'll do them while I'm recording the podcast. Every time we mention Taylor Swift, I'll take a drink. So yeah.
So that's what I did, and then I went home.
And then you went home.
Chelsea drove me home.
Please drink responsibly. Any time you enjoy Fairlife protein-packed chocolate milk, please drink responsibly. Yeah. So all right. So you didn't cook anything? You just went and freeloaded off your parents?
Yep.
Good for you.
Hell yeah, I did. Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't take anything over there. I said, "Do you want me to bring anything?" No. So I drank my dad's beer and Brett's beer, and drank his alcohol, and ate their chips and salsas, and shat in their bathroom.
Yeah, that's a Super bowel movement. Am I right?
No, I didn't do that. I didn't do that until the next morning, which was today, Monday, because I'll probably not edit this tonight. I'll probably edit it on Tuesdays as I do. But I want to make an observation. Super Bowl Monday. If you go into work on a Super Bowl Monday, first thing in the morning, if you go into a bathroom, that shit's gonna be full, literally. And so I walked in, like, every one of these stalls is packed. Super Bowl Monday.
That's right. I think I saw. So I got up early on Sunday, because I had half of a brisket left over that I was going to smoke, and I get up, I put a rub on it, get it all set up, throw it in the smoker. And then I'm watching like morning television. I just turned my TV onto CBS at like 8 a.m. and just left the TV on that channel until 10:30 at night. It was whatever CBS had, that's what was on in my house. So CBS Sunday morning, it's like a news program for old people. It's like
very interesting. It's very interesting.
It's like if 60 Minutes got up really early and decided to show up before lunch, and so they had a story about prop bets and different all of the little things that people bet on now, whether it's the length of the national anthem or what color the Gatorade is that gets splashed on the winning coach, all sorts of like really random things that people will bet on, and like billions of dollars being bet this year just on prop bets, which I thought was crazy. But then there was like another little thing in there about how much food people eat during the Super Bowl and the amount of calories that are consumed, and it rivals any other like major holiday, be that Christmas, Thanksgiving, things like that. And I'm no different. I made the brisket. We smoked jalapeno poppers.
Oh yeah, nice.
Oh, so
that
good.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Chips and queso. We had a handful of wings in our freezer that we hadn't used. We're like, let's make wings too. There were carrots and celery, so not all meat-based products.
My mom had bought some of these. They're air fryer wings, like specifically for the air fryer, and they were pretty good. I gotta say.
Pretty good. I learned baking powder is the secret. You throw
Really?
baking powder on the wings, then you can put them in, like you could bake them or whatever. Crisps up the skin without frying.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a 40 and older podcast now.
Really? Baking powder.
You toss them in baking powder. Yeah.
Really?
Bake 'em. That's what the lady on the social media video said. I don't know.
And it worked?
I mean, they're better than when we
No.
usually bake them.
Okay. So
I don't know. That
middling.
they went in after the game started and came out after the game was started. So I was already divorced from thinking about the kitchen.
Okay.
Like I prepared all of my food in advance and then went and sat on the couch during the kickoff show, and I stayed in that general vicinity. I didn't realize that Sheena had baked an entire pan of brownies and served it with vanilla ice cream on top until she had reached over the couch and put it in front of my face. I was like, ooh. And this is, of course, after I'd already eaten way too much food.
Yeah.
So, but it was great. It was great. What'd you think of the game itself? First off, who were you rooting for?
I was rooting for the 49ers.
Same. So we can wallow in pity together.
Rooting for the 49ers. I don't like Mahomes' face. I don't. This is nothing against Taylor Swift. I don't like Kelsey either. I especially don't like. It was cemented when he yelled at his
When
coach.
He accosted his head coach.
Yeah,
on the
like
sideline.
openly yelling at him and pushed him a little bit. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell?
Here's my thing. My thing about Travis Kelce is I like Travis Kelce off the field and as a football player, but I do not like him as a personality on the football field.
Yeah.
Right? Like New Heights podcast, stuff that he does with his brother, things that he does when he's not playing. A lot of that stuff I enjoy. I do. And as far as Kelsey's go, I prefer Jason, just personal preference. But yeah, he's fine in that way, and then you can't argue he's a phenomenal tight end. He's a great football player, but he gets really excited, and and you need that energy, and I that's fine, but like there are times when I'm just like, bro, like
yeah, it's okay. You can
that's
calm
Andy
down.
Reid. That's like you got. But I mean, he was being underutilized in the first half, and wouldn't you know it, in the second half, when they get the ball to him a little bit more, they start playing better and end up winning the football game. So anyway,
Yeah.
I mean, it was
But,
a slow game. It was a defensive fight for a majority of the game.
Yeah.
It went to overtime, which has only happened one other time in Super Bowl history, I think.
Yeah, like a handful of times. I wish it had gone to double overtime. That would have been fun.
Yeah. No.
But instead, the defenders misread and they let him get a touchdown to close out overtime. And yeah, they lost. It was the first half was okay, and then the second half was more exciting. I feel bad for John Caulfield, who I was like, I'm not going to send him any messages before, during, or after the game until he reaches out to me. And about an hour or two after the game, he reached out to me. I was like, sorry, man.
Oh, wow. I got the text earlier than that. I
Yeah.
feel honored because I know you guys are, you guys have boxed me out of the friendship.
Yeah. Well,
I,
let me just go ahead and clarify. I got the text an hour or two later because I didn't check my phone until I got home from my parents.
touche,
So he
touche.
really could have been texting me during the game.
Probably was. That makes sense. I was the follow up text. Like he opened the app and he's like, "Let me talk
Yeah.
to Brandon." And then when you left him on unread, or maybe you read it and just ignored it.
Yeah.
Um,
It's on my home screen. I was
and
like,
he's like,
okay.
"I guess I'll see what Travis has to say." Now, I did text him immediately after the Lions lost to the 49ers, and I just said, "Beat the Chiefs." And he said, "We're going to try," or whatever. And then the next text a week later was, "We let you down." So, anyway.
Yeah.
So you go. So it goes.
What did you think of the halftime show?
Ursher, USHERRAYMOND.
What?
And baby, tell me what you want to do to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was fantastic. I was smiling pretty much the whole time. Like it felt like a middle school dance. It like whew. Usher in his mid to late 40s, still a performer.
Probably in
Like,
his 50s. Probably in his
he
50s.
I think he's like 47, 48. I think we just Googled it this
Oh.
week, Sheen and I, because we were trying to figure that out.
Yeah, 45 years old.
45. Yeah. So, great dancer, great performer. All of the guests that he had in the performance, I thought Alicia Keys was awesome. I was super excited to see her. Ludacris
Yeah.
with the big afro as he's doing his part there.
Yeah.
What was it, Little John?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good performance, and I thought he did a great job. I don't know. What did you think?
I'm not a hip hop guy.
Certainly not.
Hip hop by nature. I'm not really a hip hop guy. On Saturday, Chelsea and I, she's like,
More
"Oh,
of like an
Usher."
R&B artist. I
Yeah,
think.
sure. Hip hop anonymous. Chelsea was like, "Yeah, he's got lots of songs." Like, really? What songs does he have? She's like, "Yeah, like this one, and this one, and this one, And then she's like, like there's the one that's like, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I know
Oh,
that one.
yeah. I know that one.
And so
He's a regular. What's his name? He's a regular.
Randy Newton.
No, what's the guy? He's a regular Vince Gill with all the songs that he's got.
That's the one. Oh, Vince Gill. I love all his songs. But I mean, because I'm not a huge Usher fan. Not saying I don't like him. Not just saying I don't know his music.
Yeah.
I was like, he's okay. It felt like his vocals were turned down.
Yeah. I mean, he was working out there. So
Yeah, but
he was still maintaining pretty impressive breath control
yes,
because he was still singing through a lot of cardio.
yeah, but he wasn't very loud. Like it was like the volume was hiding the imperfections in his voice. I felt right.
Fair.
And he's only 45. I could do that at 45. I'm not going to because
I want to see you strap on a pair of roller skates and a sequin covered jumpsuit and go sing in the middle of a football field.
It was 51 degrees in Vegas last night, and he
Wow.
was sweating up sweating up a
Oh
storm,
yeah, for
just
sure,
glistening.
for sure,
Uh,
for sure.
But I do want to say that even though I may not be a roller skater like he is, my brother Tim, oh, he might put Usher to shame. And I'm sure my brother watching that halftime show was probably like, I could do that. He probably put on his roller skates right there and went down to the local
Just
rink.
lacing him up. He's like, I'm inspired by Usher, and he got it. He got it
Tim
bad.
Tim
Yeah.
loves roller skating at the rink. You know,
Like to this day.
yeah, yeah, he
Let's
loves it.
go.
Man. He
I mean,
loves
it's a
it.
good time. I love strapping on some rollerblades and getting out there.
No, roller skates, not
Yeah,
roller.
I'm a rollerblader. That's
Yeah,
me.
no,
That's
oh,
my
okay.
childhood. Can't
Yeah.
take that away from me.
Can't
I played
take
roller
tank.
hockey. It happened.
We went to a roller rink.
Look at my
me-
Wikipedia.
we j- my family and there's this dude who's probably like mid 40s, early 50s, a worse stash than mine, but just tricking out to the roller skates.
Just grooving
Like-
to those
Yeah.
1970s hits, and just
And
like
like
shooting
do-
the duck.
doing like spins and stuff like that. Like whoo. I'm like, who's he impressing?
Everyone.
me.
That's the answer. Everyone.
Oh yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah.
Um,
Usher I thought was great. Sheena was convinced and slightly influenced by the majority of Instagram, I think, into thinking that there would be a surprise appearance by Justin Bieber, because if you don't know like pop music history, I guess Usher was instrumental in the discovery and popularity of Justin Bieber. He like helped usher him into the music industry, if you will. And
I don't want to give you a laugh for that.
Justin Bieber was at the Super Bowl. I saw footage of him in the stands, but yeah, he wasn't in the halftime show. So the halftime show ended, and she was just like, "But what about Justin Bieber?" I was like, he has only performed live like once in the last few years. I didn't think this was going to be the comeback.
Was that one woman who's with Taylor, China Ice or something like that?
Ice Spice?
Ice Spice. China Ice.
China Ice.
Yeah, Ice Spice.
Ice Spice.
Well, I guess it's like the West Indies type thing, like the spice
Sure.
trade.
Yeah.
You know,
the
that's
spice
probably
trade.
where I was going.
Yeah, whoever controls the spice controls the galaxy. So.
Yeah. When somebody said Ice Spice the other day, and I was like, "One of the Spice Girls is there?" I'm not tracking. I'm not tracking what's going on.
I definitely saw a meme on like Threads or something in like the second quarter, and it was just a picture of Blake Lively, Taylor Swift, Ice Spice, and whoever that other lady was that was next to Taylor Swift. And it just said, "I'm going to tell my kids that this was the Spice Girls." It's good. It made me laugh.
That's
Made me
great.
laugh.
Yeah. Ice Spice had a commercial, switching it over into commercials.
Yeah. Yeah. Super Bowl ads, the other reason people watch.
She had a commercial, and Brett was like, "Ugh, Ice Spice." I'm like, "Who's that? The Spice Girl?" And like, no, it's this rapper who sucks. She's not. Her music sucks. She's a crappy rapper, and the only reason anybody listens to her is because she has a huge ass, or something like that.
All right, hot takes on
hot
Ice
take
Spice
from the
your
Cruise.
brother Brett.
So I was like watching the video, and then he like played a song for me from her.
Send your comments to care of Brett Cruz at apatheticenthusiasmshow@gmail.com.
And yeah, I was like, this song is not very good. It was like it wasn't a very good. The lyrics weren't great, and
I feel like she's got a popular song that was really big on like TikTok and Instagram Reels for a while. Like it was like a song that all the teens were using for their videos.
Like Tony Hawk Pro Skater too.
Yeah, yeah.
she had
Jerry
a
was a
song
race
on
car driver.
Ace of Spades.
The Ace of Spades. Yeah. Yeah. I don't remember what commercial Ice Spice was in.
It was like a Boobly or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of Temu. commer-
Temu. If Temu would like to sponsor this podcast, just send us. You apparently have plenty of money because you
have
had
so-
so many Super Bowl commercials. It was the same one over. Like, have you heard of that website prior to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I tell everybody not to order from it because it's very, very shady.
Yeah.
And they're probably stealing your information to
Absolutely.
hack your identity.
And then selling it and turning those funds into money
Or
to buy
Temu ads.
Super Bowl ads. Did
Yeah,
you
no,
have any idea that was how you're supposed to pronounce the website?
Temu?
Temu?
I did
Temu. We said Temu all the time.
all the time.
Every time. Every time.
I always
don't
think,
order off Temu.
I don't order.
They're like, ooh, Temu.
Because Teemo is in League of Legends, and so I'm always like Teemo. So Temu makes
All right.
was. But yeah, that commercial. When make joke about identity theft and the shady quality of all the stuff you get over at Temu, but the commercial itself kind of leans into that because everything is colored in a different shade, and then the Temu orange box infects the rest of the world
That's right.
with the color orange. It's stealing everything that makes you you. Do
Shop-
not fall
Shop like a
into
billionaire at Temu.
Don't get suckered into identity theft, everybody.
I'm looking. I am scrolling through USA Today's rankings of all of the Super Bowl commercials. I cannot find the Temu one in the rankings. Like, either I'm missing it or it's not in the top 53.
Well, I know what the number one is, Travis. And
What is your prediction on the number one?
Well, it's a tie. It's a tie between the Catholic one and Scientology.
The Catholic one and Scientology.
There was I forget which one I don't.
Oh, you're talking about the Jesus ones?
Yeah.
Which one was the Scientology one?
It's the one Scientology did 2 commercials, and it was just like, join us.
I genuinely wonder if that was specific to the Los Angeles area. Because I don't remember seeing a Scientology commercial at all.
Really?
It may have played
it
on
shows
your
a
local affiliate.
It shows a building, and then it's like Scientology. But I've heard,
and then Tom Cruise is just like.
But other people were talking about Scientology too. Did you see? You saw the Jesus ones? So.
Definitely saw the Jesus ones. That is an organization that I've seen other commercials from. Now the whole website's freezing. It's what is it? It's like something.
Temu.
It's, ooh.
Jesus.
What is that? It's something us. Him with something with us or whatever. I just saw the ad for it here. I'm not prepared. He Gets Us. He Gets Us is the organization. And it was the foot washing commercial. I guess that is it's a big Christian organization that's backed by like the owner of Hobby Lobby, so he just has like billions of dollars.
Oh,
and just yeah.
I think you just I think Scientology blocked your TV, so you didn't see the ad. You saw like a Wendy's commercial instead.
Probably.
I think Scientology's like, no, we're not going to give this information to our enemies.
Yeah, we didn't see it because we got like, come on down to Earl's gun range. We got 1,800 square feet of the best climate controlled gun ranges. Yeah.
You want wind in your guns? We got a wind farm where we shoot guns into the wind.
We don't use wind here. We only drill for oil. This is Oklahoma. Love it here. This is a great
we got
state.
oil mills.
All right, I'm gonna break down top 10 commercials based on USA Today's rankings. The first one is "Like a Good Neighbor," the Arnold Schwarzenegger State Farm commercial.
That's number one.
Where that's based on their rankings. I don't even know what these are. These are over 160,000 people who are registered to vote in the USA Today ad meter competition voted on their favorite ads, and "Like a Good Neighbor" was the number one. And then let me see. I have to refresh now.
Oh boy.
The number two. Can you guess the number two? Let's see if you can guess the top five. Based on 160,000 people's rankings.
The movies? Any movies in there?
None of them are movie trailers.
Okay. All right.
I'll give you a hint. One of them.
Michael Cera. Michael Cera's on it.
No, I like the Michael Cera one.
What? How is Michael Cera one's not on there? That's the best.
It's the Dunkin' Donuts commercial with what's his name? Ben Affleck and
Matt Damon.
Which I thought was okay. It was all right. The Perfect 10. I'm sorry. I guess I'm supposed to let you guess, but the Kia electric commercial where she ice skated in front of her grandpa who was like stuck in a wheelchair.
Okay.
That was the one.
That's not very funny at all.
No, it wasn't.
That's not funny.
The Uber Eats one where everybody forgets stuff, the worth remembering, and Jennifer Aniston can't remember David Schwimmer or something.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear that one.
Okay. And then the number 5 was Born to Play, which was the long NFL commercial with the boy, I think in Africa, who was like imagining that he was playing football. Which is a good one. I liked the Hard Knocks Dove Super Bowl film with all the girls. Sports.
I'll tell you one I liked, Travis. My top 2 that are not movies were the Michael Cera one. Love it. CeraVe, and then the number 2, because it actually, of all the commercials out there, the one that actually made me laugh was when the French give us they give us the Statue of Liberty, and then we're like, what do they like? I think they like cheese, and then they just give them a big cheese board, and then they're all like, yeah, and there's like a mime who's like, yeah.
I must have been pooping during that one.
Yeah, it's an Etsy. It's an Etsy commercial.
It's an Etsy one. I like the Talkin' Like Walkin', where everybody's doing bad impressions of Christopher Walken to him.
Yeah, I like that one, but it's like an SNL sketch. Like they've already got that, so it's like it's kind of been done before.
Outside of that, I don't know that there was a T-Mobile commercial that had like Zach Braff and
yeah, I saw that one. Yeah,
I mean that's pretty all right. Big news: Baja Blast becoming available everywhere, not just at Taco Bell. I guess that's a thing. I don't know. I've never had Baja Blast, Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
It's pretty good, but
never had it.
I didn't realize it wasn't everywhere already.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, France. This is an Etsy commercial. I will have to watch that later. Okay, so yes, obviously we had the game, we had the commercials. There were some great commercials, but intermixed with those commercials were some movie trailers or like teasers for trailers. I think this is a new and frequent trend because the cost for advertising is so high during the Super Bowl that now you'll just get a very short ad advertising that the trailer for the film is available online now. So you can stop watching the other commercials and go stream the trailers to your favorite films. The first movie...
real quick, I want to talk about that for a second because yeah, that's what's happening with now. There's let's do a teaser, go to now streaming on such and such, right? Like see the full trailer. From a product management perspective, that's a really great way to see how many people actually are interested in seeing your movie. Like versus the ratings, right? Like
Yeah.
because everyone's watching the Super Bowl, even if like just because the TV's on doesn't mean you're watching that commercial specifically. The like going to YouTube or going to their website is a better way to be like, oh, okay, we're tracking how much traffic was generated right after this advertisement aired, right?
Yeah.
Or like over the next 24 hours. So I from that perspective, I think that's also interesting.
There was
It's
there was definitely only one film that I stopped and immediately went and found the link for and went and watched the trailer. And that was the first trailer
Knuckles.
that I
Tell
saw.
us.
Knuckles coming to Paramount Plus. No, it was the Deadpool Wolverine movie,
Mhm.
starring
Ryan Reynolds and Jew Hackman. I so, I wanted to do them backwards. I wanted to do them backwards, and I didn't consider I didn't consider how bad that would sound. Fuck. Oops.
One of my other favorite commercials was about ending hate towards Jewish people. I thought that was powerful. The speechwriter for Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah.
Oh, RFK, the RFK commercial.
Oh, the RFK commercial. That will stay in our memories. Yeah. Hugh Jackman, and he's got a huge Ackman, and and Van City Reynolds. Yeah. I think it looks good. I'm very excited about some of the implications. The folding of this franchise into the greater MCU has some interesting potential. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
It looks good.
The Time Variance Authority from Loki seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah.
They got the guy who played Pyro in the X-Men 2 and X-Men 3. Obviously they've got Hugh Jackman in it. They got and supposedly there's going to be a bunch of cameos in the movie, which would be great. Looking forward to seeing that. The fact that this is whereas like Captain Marvel introduced Beast in the post credits. Sorry, spoilers. Everyone should know this by now. Even if you haven't seen the Marvels, like this will be the first mutant movie in the MCU.
Yeah, it's exciting. Did you watch the Marvels?
Nope, it's on Disney Plus.
It is. I plan on streaming it very soon. Yeah.
The post credits is Beast from X-Men.
Oh, thanks. Spoiler alert. Jeez, you could have told me. A few other trailers that were featured during the Super Bowl. The motion picture retelling of the hit Broadway musical Wicked.
Oh, Wicked.
This was a full trailer. This was I would argue this was more than just a teaser. It looks really good. I think the visuals look great. I personally have never seen Wicked. I'm interested. I think Wizard of Oz is a great movie. It's a personal favorite. So I'm very interested to see. I heard that this might be done in 2 films.
Whoa.
But I can't back that up. That's just something I heard on the internet. So
That's Wicked.
that is Wicked, yo. But yeah, so Wicked, that's coming. And then Twisters, the long anticipated sequel to Twister.
I gotta tell you, Travis. I gotta tell you. I was like, oh shit, it's Twisters! me and Brett, my dad, were like, oh, it's Twisters! Like I saw Twister in the theaters with my dad way back in the day.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right.
Yeah. Filmed in
All
the
right.
great state of Oklahoma, where you can come to the gun range where we have all the All the guns you want.
We got twisters inside a locked chamber, so you can shoot your guns at them.
You can shoot that tornado right down the 25-meter gun range.
Here's an F5 tornado. that's the scale of the tornadoes. They're going on an F scale.
They do. It's true. They do.
There's just like they lasso them, and they're like, "Woo!" And they corral them in a sealed hermetic chamber.
And then they put them in bullets. All right, so Twisters is coming. Looks actiony. Hopefully it's good. I saw the little machine where they release all the little silvery balls into the tornado. Looks like they've perfected the technology. What could go wrong? Yeah.
I hope that at the end, they tie themselves to a pipe underground using a belt, and then they see the eye of the tornado.
It's gonna be perfect. One last film that caught my eye. Yet another Planet of the Apes movie.
Woo! Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. What did they say? Have a nice day, or they just kept repeating the same line over and over again. Like it's a nice day or something. I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
It's like it was teaching the other apes how to talk. I think is the.
So for that trailer, it started. I was like, Planet of the Apes, woo! And then my brother was talking to me. My dad started telling me like, I'm watching this commercial. I want to watch this. Shut up, because I love Planet of the Apes movies. The first three were great. Love them so much. We showed our 12-year-old Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and he was so sad. He's like, I don't want to watch any of the other ones. I'm like, okay. Someday you'll appreciate sad movies, boy. Maybe not right now, but someday you will, and you'll like being sad, and you'll seek them out. You'll watch Hallmark movies because you want to feel what it's like to feel again. No, but so Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I'm excited that my brother said like, hey, where's Caesar? Like, gosh. He dies at the end of the third one. Go watch a movie or something. But I'm stoked about that. Deadpool and Wolverine. That's my number one, obviously.
Sure.
Then Planet of the Apes. Then Twister. Then the Knuckles TV series. Was there anything else?
You're not even gonna rent Wicked. You're like
Scientology commercial on repeat, and then Wicked.
Jeez, how are we even friends? How does this work? Yeah, reverse order for me. No, that's not true. That's
Wicked, Scientology commercial on repeat.
Knuckles, Twisters.
That's where we start to get a little different.
Start to cross over. Yeah, we can agree on the
Knuckles.
third movie we see Twisters. Yeah.
We agree on a TV show, not the movie. I've heard that there's a Sonic 3. They are making a Sonic 3, but they didn't show a preview for that last night.
No.
Rumor is that maybe like in the summer they'll release the teaser.
Yeah, during the less Super Bowl.
Yeah.
A couple other lingering Super Bowl thoughts, and then we can get off this topic and end the episode. Are you at all aware of the other broadcasts that were made available for the Super Bowl this year?
Yes, the Nickelodeon broadcast.
The Nickelodeon live from Bikini Bottom SpongeBob Super Bowl.
My family asked me, what is this? And I was drunk, so I'm like, I don't even know how do I explain this? It's like they add effects to things when they happens or something. I don't know. Something, and it's on Nickelodeon. They're like, oh, so like they're doing their like own game. Like, no, it's this game. They're putting effects and stuff on there for the kids. They're like, oh, yeah. Oh, there's Taylor Swift.
So I do want to point out that is it Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob?
Yep.
and
Great guy.
I don't know the voice of Patrick, but those two renowned voice actors were live doing color commentary for the game. I saw they wore this rig that had headphones. They were in like mocap, almost like shirts.
Yeah.
And then the rig had headphones with like an arm out in front of it, and then an iPhone like sitting in front of their face, like staying like I think using the Face ID type technology to do the face mapping.
Yeah.
And they were just performing throughout the game as SpongeBob and Patrick, and then they had 3D renderings of SpongeBob and Patrick that would do the mocap like mouth movement live. Yeah, and I guess it worked pretty well. They had some other people there calling the game as well, and they had, as you mentioned, all of the extra overlays and stuff stuck to players, and the slime zone where slime would explode in the end zone when they rarely made a touchdown. But all of that, super distracting, obviously intended to appeal to a younger audience so that the NFL can maintain their death grip on the American society, get them while they're young, capture the attention of the children, and they will grow up to spend money on this sport. Not that I'm cynical about any of it. And how can you be when Dora the Explorer herself is there to explain to the young audience at home what it means every time the referees call a penalty? I saw a clip last night where she pops up from behind the scoreboard at the bottom of the screen being like, offsides is when an offensive player, or I'm sorry, a neutral, was it neutral zone infraction? No, it was offsides. Like, or a false start. She was explaining a false start, and she like does the thing with her hands, and then she's like, a false start is when a player moves after they've already lined up at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be like 15 yards or whatever. And then Boots jumps up from behind. He's like, because it's a penalty. And it was just, it's chaotic. It was in the best kind of way. It was ridiculous.
My son asked during one of the penalties, like, oh, they can decline penalties? Like, yeah, they can decline penalties. Like, why would they decline a penalty? Like, well, because they ran for 15 and the penalty's only for 5. So if they accept the penalty, they'll end up back here instead of up there. So you can decline the penalty. It's like, huh. Did Dora explain that? I
don't know. I didn't watch the Nick cast.
I'm not asking you. It's rhetorical. You know,
it is rhetorical. But you did bring up your son watching the football game with you. My youngest, my daughter, watched the game with me. She was locked onto the screen, obviously rooting for Taylor Swift's boyfriend and no other outcome. Really only interested when Taylor Swift was on the screen. And as the game progressed, I, much like I'm sure you had to, explain different aspects of the game and how it works. And I'm like trying to explain how downs work and the scoring system. Oh no, if they kick it this time it's 3 points, but if they kick it that time it's 1 point. Oh, but he blocked it, and oh, okay, this, that, and the other. Oh, it's halftime, and yeah, that's Usher. No, and then
overtime.
Overtime. So she's
and
like,
I was like, and like for me, I'm like, I don't remember what the overtime rules are. So
plus I've had so many Taylor Swift shots. Like
so like the rules came up on the screen, and Chelsea started talking to me. I was like, hold on one sec. I don't know what. I need to find out what the rules for overtime are. Okay, now.
Okay, all right.
Now I'll explain it to you.
Continue. Yeah, but she was so stressed out at the end of that game because you know, overtime starts. The 49ers driving down the field. She's like, "What does this mean? What does this mean? Is it good or bad? Is it?" So I don't know how many times I had to. And obviously, I'm rooting for 49ers. She's rooting for Chiefs. She's like, was that good or bad? I'm like, I don't know, for you or for me? For me. Was it good for me or was it not? So she was very stressed out. And then when they won, she was very excited.
Yeah.
Good for her. But like in overtime, she's like, this is really stressful. And I'm like, this is how I feel every Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
And Chelsea was like, I'm glad the Dolphins aren't playing tonight. I'm like, me too. Kind of. I'd kind of like them to win. I kind of want them to win, but also I know that I would be stressed out the entire game, and then we'd lose, and I'd be like, ah!
Yeah, as much as I'd love to see the Chargers go all the way, it hurts when they lose on like a random Sunday in October.
Yeah.
Losing that game, I'd be insufferable. Devastated. But maybe it'll happen. Harbaugh's in town. We're rebuilding. Yeah. Who knows? We're coming for you, AFC West.
They're coming for you. They're coming for you. Strong. Well, so that's what we watched the Super Bowl. I'm sure you did too, or maybe you didn't, but you heard people at work or just at McDonald's talking about it. So we'd love to hear what your thoughts
on Monday morning.
Yeah. Hey, can you pass some toilet paper? Also, did you see that one play? I mean, they fumbled it on the first drive. Oh no, I dropped the toilet paper.
Poppers.
Oh, I dropped the toilet paper roll. Oh, you just fumbled like the 49ers. McCaffrey hadn't fumbled it. Yeah. So let us know what you think. Which commercials you liked or anything like that.
Yeah. Which movie trailers are you most excited about?
Yeah. Now, Travis, we've given the call to action, but I wanna go ahead and switch into one of our new segments, which is people that we used to work with or currently work with who listen to the podcast minute. Shout out to Mike, who listens to the podcast. I saved it for the end because he says he listens to this show, and sometimes I think maybe he puts our audio into a little search engine and then looks for his name and then finds out where it is that I mentioned.
Bold strategy, Mike. I don't know that your daughter would be proud of you doing that.
Yeah, I don't know if your daughter. Yeah, that's right, Mike. We share your information with each other. We talk about you behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. You piece of shit. You. Anyway, shout out to Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, and also shout out to Sam, who didn't think I'd ever say his name on this podcast, but I'm going to make you listen to 52 minutes of audio and then just patiently wait to see if you find this little tidbit.
Yeah, he hates sports.
Oh, that guy hates sports. There's no way he would listen to this entire podcast where we talk about sports, the one thing he brings up regularly in the office.
Oh no.
Oh no. Shout out to all the listeners, whether we work with you or not. Thank you so much for downloading and listening to this podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please text Apathetic Enthusiasm to @Fairlife Chocolate Milk to get 0% off your next purchase. And that's it. That's the episode. We're gonna go make a post show with even more ridiculous commentary. You can find that at patreon.com/apatheticenthusiasm. And until next time, I'm Travis.
And I'm Brandon. Thank you.
Bye.